What's up, y'all? Breeders' Cup time once again. All right. Sorry for getting this video out so late, but hey, as they say, life's never boring. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. I won't be doing any other videos probably on any of the other Breeders' Cup races. If I do come up with some picks, I may come up with something real quick, just dropping some picks on those races. But I always like to focus on the Classic because to me, this is what it's all about. All right. Breeders' Cup Classic 2020. Number one horse, we got good old Tacitus. Horse loves to hit the board, we know. Hasn't come up with a big win in a long time. He did have the win in the Suburban handicap a little ways back. Big win, nice time. That was in New York, though. We're in Kentucky now. And he's facing much tougher horses, of course. That wasn't a mile and a quarter. Last out in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. He really didn't have nothing for him. Ran third there behind Happy Saver and Mystic Guide, neither of which we're seeing today. And then we've got, he ran, was beaten by, what's his name? Global Campaign. Beaten by Global Campaign in the Woodward. So Tacitus, as I said, likes to hit the board, likes to run in the money. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that today because this field is much, much tougher. It's honestly one of the best Breeders' Cup Classics and most tightly matched horse races I've seen in my lifetime of watching horse races, and that goes over several decades. I mean, you got to go back to the 98 Breeders' Cup Classic. That one was loaded. You had Silver Charm, you had Awesome Again who won it, you had Touch Gold ran in there. We had Breeders' Cup winner a year before that was in that too. Who was the one that won that one? On top of that, Arch was in that race too. Like I said, Silver Charm. It was a lot of horses in that one. Derby winners, breeder winners, Victory Gallop. Victory Gallop ran in that 98 Breeders' Cup Classic too. So that one was loaded, similar to this race. So let's go ahead and get into this. Tacitus, though, as I said, decent workout coming into this one, 1 minute breezing. I don't expect too much from him. I think he's probably going to be outclassed. Again, I don't know if he'll be able to hit the board, but we'll see. He's tough. He hangs in there. Number 2, we got Tiz the Law. A lot of people overlook this horse because he got beat in the Derby. He still ran a great race. That was a great time behind Authentic that he ran. So we haven't seen him since then. Of course, he had that awesome win in the Travers where, he just galloped home in a 2-minute win. And then he had that amazing win in the Belmont, that 146 and I think 3 it was. But great win in that one as well. So Tiz the Law, we all know. Everybody thought he was Super Horse. He was next Secretariat. All these things. He loses one race and he's forgotten. But he's back here now. Manny Franco's aboard him again. I wish they had changed the jockey, but hey, they didn't. He only lost one race and lost by a second. But I think the Derby might have been different if he had a different jockey on him. Great workouts out of this. When he went back to New York, 57-second 5 furlong, he breezed out there. He's been running hot ever since then. Did a couple 6 furlongs, and his last out was a 59-second 5 in Keeneland. So he looks to be in good shape. I expect him to try to do something here. He's still a good horse. Even though people like to, like I say, forget about him, disrespect him. Anyway, number 3, By My Standards. By My Standards, he's 10-1. By the way, that was 3-1 on Tiz the Law and a 20-1 on Tacitus. Can you believe that? 20-1. By My Standards at 10-1. He's got Gabriel Saez riding him. Another good horse. He's got a lot of strong races under his belt, 4-year-old. His last out, he got a win in the Alley Sheba. That's only a mile and 1/16. He did face Improbable before that in the Whitney. Got beat by Improbable. He also got beat by Tom Sata. So he's faced some of these other horses in here. Didn't come up with wins. But hey, this horse has been hanging around for a while. He's very likely to hit the board probably as well. He's got a 59-second and a 58-second breezing workouts at 5 furlongs. So he seems to be in pretty good shape as well. Number 4, Tom Sata. Now, this horse was really coming on strong for a while. Looked like the best horse in the nation. And then he stumbled out of the gate in the Whitney. Wasn't able to really get to compete like he should in that one. Improbable won that one. Improbable kind of went on to start his little streak he's got going now. So Improbable looked good there. Tom Zata is kind of like he stole the mojo from Tom Zata. So he's going to try to make a comeback here. He had a few wins before that. I didn't have them all written down. Winning the Stephen Foster, winning the Oaklawn Mile. His workouts aren't as good coming into this one. Like I said, it doesn't always mean as much if they're not that good because you might just be working them slow. But at any rate, he did run a 1.25 miles one other time. It was hard to find this one. He's 7 years old, by the way. His second race at Churchill Downs, maiden special weight, he ran at 1.25 miles. Didn't run too great of a time there, but he, granted it was the second race. He might have even been 2 years old. I didn't even look at the time, but at any rate, probably was 3. But yeah, it hasn't gone this distance since then. So I don't know how well Tom Zata is really going to handle 1.25 miles. We'll have to see. He's got decent breeding, sired by Smart Strike, so he can go the distance. I don't know if he's going to be able to go it very well against these other horses. We'll have to see. It's a tight race, a lot of competition, a lot of tough horses. One of which is not the number 5, Title Ready. Why is this horse in the race? Somebody's got to tell me that. Why is this horse even in the race? This horse doesn't deserve to be in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He's only won one race in the past year as an optional claimer at Keeneland, 1.16 miles. Corey Lanery's riding. I don't even know. Is this a joke? Why is this horse in the race? That's all I can say. Last out in the Fayette. Didn't do anything. 3rd place. 5th place before that in the Ali Sheba, beaten by My Standards in that one. I don't even know why this horse is in the race, like I'm saying. I kind of hope they scratch him because he's liable to just get in the way. At any rate, 30 to 1 on that horse. Yeah, he needs to be. He'll be higher than that. Trust me, if he goes off. We're probably talking 70s, 80s, more. Number 6, Higher Power. This horse has shown some promise over the years, but he really hasn't been able to get it done when it came down to facing the top horses. Sired by Medaglia d'Oro, his mother's father, Seattle Slew, so good breeding out of this one. He's ridden by Flavian Pratt, fake Derby winner, but trained by John Sadler. Now, Sadler got a Breeders' Cup Classic win in 2018 aboard Accelerate, or with Accelerate. So he does have some success. He has success in this race, won once before. Tough race to win. Not a lot of trainers winning a lot, except for Bob Baffert, of course. 58-second breezing workout time. That was a great time run by this horse at Keeneland. So he's in decent shape, it seems. We'll just have to see if he can handle the competition. I guess a 20 to 1 on him. Also 20 to 1, Global Campaign. They switched up his jockey to Javier Castellano. Now, he got a win his last out in the Woodward. It's one of these horses I kind of liked over the years. Not years, but over a few races. Wasn't able really to get it done when I thought he was going to, but he seems to be coming into some form now. Got 2 wins in his last couple outs, but they switched the jockey again. Saez is riding Maximum Security, so they got Javier Castellano. He's won this race before aboard Ghost Sapper, so Javier Castellano can run with the best of him, even though he hasn't been that hot as of late. Horse is sired by Curlin, who's a Smart Strike horse, grandfather AP Indy, so nothing bad in that breeding right there. You got the Breeders' Cup championship pedigree right there. So Global Campaign, probably going to be near the front of the pace. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, this is a competitive race. The 8, we got Improbable, the favorite at 5 to 2. That's a strong. I don't know how strong that is. Maybe you stay at 5 to 2. He might go up though. Is competitive this race. You got names like Maximum Security. You got Authentic. He might not stay at 5 to 2. But at any rate, we got Improbable, sired by City Zip. One of my. I always liked City Zip horses back in the day. In some smaller races and stuff. So got some City. He's a City Zip horse now, starting to come along. Good to see that. His mother's father's AP Indy, another strong Breeders' Cup champion, as we know. Now, this is one of 3 Bob Baffert horses. Now, Bob Baffert won, he had a three-peat, Bayern, American Pharoah, and Arrogate in 14, 15, 16. Also, Irad Ortiz Jr. won the Breeders' Cup Classic last year aboard Vino Rosso. So, lots of experience with this team. And the horse is on a hot streak. He last out in the Awesome Again, Drayden Van Dyke rode him to a pretty easy victory. Maximum Security just didn't show up. I think they kind of choked him out in that one. I was not impressed with the performance of Maximum Security in that race, though. Improbable just kind of took over and cruised home. He got a win in the Whitney before that with Irad Ortiz Jr., who's riding him again today. And Drayden Van Dyke rode him before that in the Gold Cup at Santa Anita. Decent victory there at 1.25 miles. So he's probably going to be tough to beat. You can see why he's a favorite. But he's going to have to beat horses like the 9 Authentic. Authentic, is, even though he lost his last race to a girl, he is still ran a great race. That's a great time. It was the second fastest Preakness, and he lost by a neck. So, I mean, he pretty much has the time himself. Great time in that one. He ran a really good time in the Derby. I think maybe he just needed Johnny Velasquez. Maybe he just doesn't like Mike Smith. I don't know. Sometimes horses just don't get along with other jockeys. I mean, he won with Mike Smith. I don't want to say that. But he didn't explode that way. I mean, he really exploded with Johnny Velasquez. So at any rate, after that loss to Swiss Skydiver in the Preakness, I know they're going to be looking to come back out, get in the winner's circle. Another Baffert horse, Johnny Velasquez, after all the races he's won, has not won the Breeders' Cup Classic before, so he's looking to get his first one out there on Saturday. And he's going to have to face, and I don't. This is tough here because Maximum Security. I thought he should have run last year. I thought he would have had a much better chance last year. The horse was horribly mismanaged, and he's facing a lot of tough competition this year. Coming off this loss to Improbable, he did have a win in the Pacific Classic, so decent win there. He's definitely going to have to run a better race in this one, but it's going to be a lot of pressure up front. I don't know if Size is really going to take him as fast as he needs him to go. Maximum Security, looking to capture the fame and glory that was robbed from him at the Kentucky Derby. So maybe he needed that loss. Maybe that helps that he lost that Awesome Again Stakes. Maybe Size will be more on his game in this one because he's surely going to have to be on his game to get a win in a race like this. As we know, or as most of us know, the pace makes the race. Pace makes the race. I think that you're going to come out with the leaders on this one being Global Campaign with Castellano, Authentic, and Maximum Security. All those horses, in my opinion, if they want to win, they're going to want to run fast. 46. However, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. I'm kind of thinking Castellano's going to get the lead, but they're going to keep pressuring him. I don't think they're really going to take it too easy. But nobody's gonna try to open up the kind of distance they need on the back of the pack here. So I think they do keep it kind of controlled. Probably a 47-second honest pace. But I think they're going to need to go a lot faster than that. Probably, I'd say I would want to do a low 46, maybe a 45, especially if I'm Maximum Security or Authentic. I don't want none of these horses getting near me if it's me. I want to try to blow them away and leave them in the dust because I don't want to get into a battle with them for sure. Now, right behind that, Tacitus. I expect him to be up there. They've been running this horse near the front recently because they've realized that he's not that fast as a closer. So they've run him near the front of the pace, probably the back half of his career now. He actually took the lead in that last race. Didn't help him at all. Instead of running second, which he probably should have, he ran third. So they're probably going to run him back right off the pace again in this one. I just think he's outclassed, though. Right behind him, I think Tom Todd's probably going to be in there. Hopefully he breaks well. Higher Power should be right in there too. But right in the back of the pack, I think we're going to have Tiz the Law, by my standards, this Title Ready, and Improbable. And that's where I think a lot of the juice is going to come from in this race. If you have an honest pace like I'm looking at, I think once they start moving, they're going to start closing fast. Tiz the Law is probably going to be tracking Authentic, so he knows, he probably thinks he could beat him, so he's not going to stay too far away from him. So I think he's probably going to get going once Authentic kind of starts to move. He's definitely going to want to move. I expect Irad Ortiz Jr., he likes to get it going. I mean, this guy gets his horses going almost as good as Jerry Bailey or Garrett Gomez. I mean, Irad Ortiz Jr. gets it going. I expect with Improbable. By my standards, is probably going to make a move too. You're going to see Tom Tata, Tastis. They're all going to kind of come after the leaders. I don't know how well they're really going to be able to do unless they kind of ride a little bit too slow, and which I think it's kind of going to hurt whoever doesn't get the lead. And even if Global Campaign's on the lead, if he doesn't ride freely, I think it's going to hurt him too. I think when they really start moving, Authentic's probably going to pull ahead. Authentic will pull ahead, get the lead. Maximum Security will probably be right there with him. But I expect him from the back. You're going to see Improbable come screaming in, and then you're going to see Tiz the Law come screaming past him. And I think those two horses are probably going to blow past most of the rest of that pack. I think they're probably going to blow past Maximum Security, unfortunately. And I think that they're going to be coming after Authentic, who I think won't have the gas. I think they're going to have the momentum. I think they will not open up a big enough gap, and I think you're going to see Improbable and Tiz the Law come past Authentic as well. And this time I think Irad Ortiz Jr. goes back to back. Improbable gets the win. Tiz the Law runs second. Authentic hangs in there for third. And Maximum Security is tough. I don't want to doubt this horse's toughness. Tassis is tough as well. These other horses, like By My Standards, Higher Power, they're in good shape. I've always seen Maximum Security be tough, so I think he'll be tough and hang in there for fourth. But I don't think he's going to get the ride he needs. I think Saez is going to be outclassed because these other jockeys have got some horses as well. I'm rooting for Maximum Security. Let me tell you that way. I hope he wins it. I would really like to see the horse win. I'm a fan of Maximum Security, but when I pick a race, I'm picking what I think is going to happen, not what I would like to see happen. So that's what I'm calling. I'm going with Improbable first, Tiz the Law second, Authentic in third, Maximum Security in fourth, 8, 2, 9, 10.